Hey guys, so as stated in my last video, I'm going to start trying to make more videos on YouTube. I know saying videos that many times probably is going to get on everybody's nerves, but yeah, that's the truth. That's what I'm trying to do here. So to start, I want to tell you guys a crazy story. So last year, in January, February, I had a really bad stomachache. It just kind of felt like I was getting stabbed multiple times in the stomach all over the place. There was no rhyme or reason. And I just figured, okay, I must have eaten something that didn't agree, as we all typically do. And after about 3.5 hours, it finally stopped. And I moved on with my day. I had taken some Tums and drank a whole bunch of water, and it eventually stopped. So, awesome. Well, a month and a half later, it happens again. It's the same pain, same all over, not really a pattern. And this time it goes on for 6 hours. And I couldn't get it to quit. I took Tums, I took Pepto-Bismol, I drank more water in that 6 hours than I usually drink in a week. I mean, I was like, what did I eat that I am trying to flush out of my system? What is going on here? Well, I started doing a little, research, trying to come up with ideas on what could possibly cause this stomach ache. Because I'm like, this is twice now. It's the same pain, and it lasted twice as long this time. So I did some research, thought back in family history, and I was like, maybe I have celiac. Because my grandmother has celiac. She's also diabetic and has issues with some dairy, I believe. So she's got some issues with her food. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to stop eating gluten. So after that 6 hours, pain finally goes away. I talk to my husband the next morning and tell him my findings. So for the next 3 months after that, I ate gluten-free. I didn't touch anything with gluten in it. I was really, really careful, and everything was going fine. And I was proving my point. I think it was 3 months. It might have been 2 months. I don't know. It was a long time. A long time without bread. And bread is life. I mean, next to coffee, bread is my number one choice. So, yeah, coffee is my number one beverage. Bread is my number one food. And I couldn't touch actual bread. I had to buy gluten-free bread or supplement with rice. It was difficult. It was really difficult. But I did it because, I thought it was a necessary thing to do. Then one day, I wake up in the morning, get myself ready for work, and the stomach pain starts again. But it started out slow. So I was like, be okay. We'll get through this. I get to work, get all my stuff set up, I'm getting ready to go, and I decide to stop and grab some breakfast. I grab my kale salad with some fruit and a vinaigrette dressing, which I double-checked was also gluten-free. I got 3 bites into it, and the pain became unbearable. So I texted my boss, and I was like, listen, I can't do my demo today. I gotta go home. So I did. I went home. Again, I drank water, took Tums, took Pepto-Bismol. I used an ice pack. And then when that didn't help, I switched to a heating pad. I mean, I did everything I could. 8 hours. And there was no sign of this slowing down. 8 hours. That's crazy to deal with that kind of pain. Honestly, I've had 2 kids. And I've had kidney stones. The 2 kids were less painful. Kidney stones are still number 1 on my list for painful things. So, you men who have had kidney stones, you can safely say that you understand what pain is. You are the only ones. Because I've dealt with a lot of stuff. Kidney stones suck. They're horrible. Labor was less painful. Granted, I did not feel all of labor. I had the epidural, so I didn't feel everything. But I do know what the contractions feel like, and the contractions were not as painful as kidney stones. Just saying. But anyway, enough of the bunny trail there. So, I get, after 8 hours of this, I couldn't take it anymore. I look at my husband and I go, listen, I need to go to the hospital. It's not stopping. It's getting worse. There's something wrong. So we go to the hospital, and they're asking me the same questions over and over and over again. And I told them I had dealt with the pain twice before, and I gave them the same explanation I have given you guys just now. And they seemed doubtful, and were kind of talking down to me. And, they thought maybe I might have tumors or ovarian cysts. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Ovarian cysts. And I was like, well, that would suck. But at the same time, I've had my 2 kids. I don't want any more kids. So if it came down to it, I'd be like, well, if I have ovarian cysts and they're going to keep popping up, just take them out. You're done with it. Just take them out. I don't need those. I'm done using them at this point. So, they keep doing their exams, keep checking, trying to figure out what the pain was. Funny thing, the worst of my pain was on the left side of my body. That was where the worst pain was. So they kept saying that, some of what I was describing sounded like appendicitis. But my pain was on the wrong side of the body, so it couldn't be that. Well, eventually they had to give in and give me a CT scan. So I had to take that nasty, frustrating iodine liquid. So when the CT scanner goes over your body, it makes you feel like you have to pee really bad, or you just peed yourself. You didn't, but that's what it feels like. So they do that and come back and let me know that in one of the pictures they noticed there was some fluid in my appendix. I was like, I thought you said there was nothing wrong with my appendix. The pain was in the wrong spot. They're like, well, our only option is to do another CT scan in the morning and see if it got worse, or go ahead and do surgery now. I was like, honestly, I'm screwed either way, because the only insurance I had was family planning Medicaid, so they only cover birth control. So I was kind of screwed either way, and I was like, screw it, let's just do the surgery now. Well, they do the surgery, and I find out the next morning that, one, my appendix was 100% inflamed. Like, there wasn't a single spot on that entire appendix that wasn't swollen up, and it was huge. I mean, your appendix is like this big. Mine was like this big. It was huge. They're honestly surprised it didn't rupture. I'm surprised it didn't rupture, considering how long I dealt with the pain. But they also told me they could see the scar tissue where my appendix had somehow inflamed and healed. That's not supposed to happen. Your appendix is not supposed to heal. It's once it flares up, you're done. You have to get to a hospital and have it removed. Somehow, I coaxed that thing into chilling out twice. Third time, it was like, okay, no, done this too many times. It's time to go. I gotta get out. So, yeah. It was pretty crazy. And stories like that one, because I am telling the truth, it's not a made-up story. That's really what happened. But when stuff like that happens, and I found out later it was so much worse than I thought it was, I think back and I'm like, why didn't I take a video? Why didn't I go online or just on a notepad and mark down what happened? And just kind of, keep a record of these things. That way, when I finally find out what the issue is, and it turns out to be something as crazy as that, I have proof that it started way earlier than it should have. I get some pretty weird things that happen to me. I just seem to have really bad luck. Like I said, my kidney stones, I got those when I was 7.5 months pregnant with my first child. They couldn't do a dang thing about it. I suffered with the pain for that for about 1.5 months before I finally found a home remedy that I was allowed to use that wouldn't hurt the baby. Apple cider vinegar, people. It's gross, but you take it like a shot. You get a little shot glass, pour yourself 2 of those. Apple cider vinegar, kidney stone will be gone in 24 hours. I guarantee it. It was a lifesaver for me, because here I am with this massive belly out to here, and I couldn't do anything about it because they can't do surgery. That's extremely dangerous. The only other option that they offer you for kidney stones is shocking it until it breaks up into smaller pieces and you pass it. But they can't shock it either because there's a baby in the way. So there was nothing the doctors could do. And that pain was awful. Absolutely awful. And I started doing, again, my online research, looking to see if anybody had any ideas for me. I tried the lemon juice and olive oil. Ugh, that didn't work, and it was horrible. It made me sick to my stomach. That was not a good idea. The only other one that looked like it might actually do anything was one where you basically get a 6-pack of the cans of Coke, and you open up the first one and start a timer for 20 minutes. At the end of that 20 minutes, you're supposed to finish that Coke. Then you start the timer again and you drink the next one. And you want to try to drink all 6 of them without going to the bathroom. And by the time you drink all 6 of those and you finally go to the bathroom, essentially you're peeing out sand. The kidney stone has been obliterated. Well, you can't have that much caffeine when you're pregnant either. 1 can is all you can get away with pregnancy. And I didn't even drink 1 can because, well, sorry, my caffeine limitations were reserved for my cup of coffee in the morning, and that was it. No caffeine, I cut it out anywhere else, but you're not taking away my morning coffee. Just not gonna happen. So yeah, I've had some really crazy stuff happen to me. Those are just 2 examples, and I want to start keeping track of this stuff. So some of my videos are going to be focused around my kids, because my kids are great and they're funny, and some of the stuff that my youngest says is just off the wall. Why have I not been recording her for years? Awesome. And some of it will be when weird stuff like that starts to happen. Like right now, I've got this crazy lump over here. I don't know if you can tell that the sides of my jaw, this side is lumpy here. Every once in a while it'll flare up, and I want to try to catch one of those flare-ups where it's like, because, again, a lot of people keep telling me, oh, well, it could be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a cyst, but, I don't know. That thing that happens around your teeth, whatever it's called. A lot of people tell me it's that. Well, those don't, abscess, there we go. Abscess. But a lot of people, say it could be an abscess. Abscesses don't usually inflate and deflate. They usually kind of stay at the same size, and you're stuck with it. They get bigger, they don't get smaller, and eventually you have to go in and have a doctor or a dentist do something about it. This one will just grow and then shrink. And then grow, and then shrink. But the lump never really goes away. It's always there. Just sometimes it's like the size of a pea, and sometimes it looks like I swallowed a golf ball. Or tucked a golf ball in my cheek, actually, because swallowing would go... That's not the right thing. Yeah. So, I want to start keeping track of this stuff. Now, I know I'm making a ridiculously long video for my 3 subscribers, and I don't even know if they're actually using their YouTube at this point and noticing that I'm posting these videos, but I'm going to do it anyway, because the fact that you 3 are still subscribed to me after all these years, including the last, 7 that I have not posted anything, that's really impressive. I mean, it could just be your laziness and you didn't delete me because you haven't been on either, but I'm still pretty impressed that I've managed to keep subscribers this long, even though my videos really weren't that impressive. But I'm going to try harder for you guys, and I'm going to do as many interesting stories as I can. I'm going to try to be as dedicated as I can, but I'm not going to guarantee a whole bunch of videos. Today, I want to post 50, because there's all these things running around in my head. But today, this was my story for today. I had to tell everybody what, just because you're having an issue and it doesn't lead in the direction that or I should say, it doesn't have the symptoms to lead in the direction you think it is, it could still be something different. If I made any sense whatsoever there. You get it. I know you got it. So, yeah. That's my story about having my appendix removed. It was not a pleasant process, but the doctors were amazing, and my surgeon was the bomb when I was running out of pain medication, and it had been long enough. I shouldn't have been really in that much pain, but for some reason I was. I asked him if I could have a little bit more so that when me and my husband went on our anniversary trip to Anime Week in Atlanta, I could walk around and not hold everybody else back. He was like, oh, yeah, sure, definitely. I don't want you to ruin your anniversary trip all because something you can't control. So he gave me some more pain medication, which, disclaimer, I was very careful about. I only took it when I needed it, which was basically anytime we were going to be standing for more than an hour, which was most of the weekend. But, you know, I wanted to enjoy it, and I didn't want to hold back my husband and our friends who joined us. You know, where's the fun in that if you can't do anything, right? So, okay. Well, I have decided I have now rambled enough for you guys. I'm about to hit the 16-minute mark here. So I'm going to stop rambling on you. But you can definitely expect some more videos from me. Thank you to my 3 subscribers who have stuck around this long. I love you guys. Bye.